unmute. What have I not hit?
There you go.
I can hear you now, Judge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready?
I just sat down. Let me pull up the queue. But you said the paperwork's in the queue, correct?
That's what she said, I believe.
Great. Thank you. I'm just waiting. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Shelley, all I see is Cullen. Is everyone else
That's all
here?
you got. Ready?
Yes, I'm
letting
ready.
him in.
I need something in that Coke.
You're on YouTube, dear. We're broadcasting. Okay.
Court will now.
Are
Are we ready?
Are you Michelle Ann Wetzel? Okay. Ms. Wetzel, can you see your attorney on the screen?
I see him. Hello.
Okay, very good. We're ready, Judge.
All right, the court will now call case number 6677. The state of Texas versus Michelle Ann Wetzel. Is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready to proceed, Judge.
And is defense ready to proceed?
We're ready, Your Honor.
And for the record, ma'am, you are Michelle Ann Wetzel.
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Wetzel, you've been charged in this case with possession of a controlled substance. That's a third-degree felony. That's punishable by imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term not to exceed 10 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court can assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. Ma'am, you've been charged with this by a document called an indictment. Do you want that read to you, or do you waive the reading of that indictment?
I believe we talked about it yesterday with my lawyer, so I think I'm okay without reading the whole indictment.
All right. And your name, Michelle Ann Wetzel, is correctly shown in that indictment?
Yes,
And Ms. Wetzel, are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Then I will ask you how you plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone threatened you in any way or coerced you or promised you something to get you to make this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Right, Ms. Wetzel, I have in front of me a document called a felony plea of guilty waiver stipulation and judicial confession.
Yes, ma'am.
In this document, you waive certain rights, such as the right to a trial by jury. You tell me again, you plead guilty. You tell me that you're mentally competent or that you understand what's going on today. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And you stipulate that all of the evidence the state has against you is true and correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wetzel, have you gone over this document with your attorney?
I did, yes, Your Honor.
And this document appears to have your signature on it. Did you sign it?
I did, Your Honor.
And by signing this document again, are you telling me that you fully understand everything in it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you fully, and I'll ask counsel this. You have gone over this document with your attorney, with your client?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Seeloff, do you believe that Ms. Wetzel is mentally competent to enter into this plea agreement?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you approve of her signing these stipulations before the court today?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Does the state concur?
The state concurs, Your Honor.
Right, Ms. Wetzel, I will approve these stipulations and I will enter them into the court's record as State's Exhibit number 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Cook, is there a plea agreement in this case?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state has agreed to recommend to the court that the defendant be placed on deferred adjudication community supervision for a period of 5 years. In addition, a $2,000 fine assessed, $180 in restitution payable to the Texas Department of Public Safety, and compliance with any conditions that are put on her by the probation office while she's on that deferred adjudication probation.
Ms. Wetzel, you've heard the district attorney's assistant announce a plea agreement. Is that the plea agreement that you reached with him?
It is, Your Honor. I just want to make sure that it is okay that I'm going to do that out of the state of Colorado, because that's where I'm from, and I just want to make sure that's
That has not ever been an issue in the past.
okay.
Probation, and I'll tell you this when we're done, but well, and let me go ahead and get to that. I'll say,
Okay.
Mr. Seeloff, do you concur that that was the plea agreement that your client reached?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Wetzel, I will follow the recommendation of the district attorney's office,
Okay,
and I will not find you guilty of this offense today. Instead, I will defer a finding of guilt, and I will place you on probation, which he called deferred adjudication, for 5 years.
yes, ma'am.
And during that 5-year period, you must follow all of the terms and conditions of probation.
Yes, ma'am.
I will also order that you pay a $2,000 fine and $180 in restitution for the drug testing done by DPS.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, yes, probation, and let me ask either the Mr. Cook or Mr. Seeloff, have you, either of you talked with probation about when they will get with Ms. Wetzel and go over those terms and conditions with her?
I have not talked with probation yet, Your Honor, no, but I would imagine it's going to be very soon.
And Ms. Burnett, I gather that probation is not on this Zoom hearing.
They are not.
All right, Ms. Wetzel. Let's see, Mr. Seeloff, can you communicate? Oh, Shelley, probation's in the waiting room. Can you let them in?
No, they're not.
Shelley says, no, they're not. If you'll hold on, Ms. Wetzel, I think we'll get a probation officer in the hearing.
Okay. I was planning on, if I get picked up today and let out tomorrow, I was planning on checking in with them tomorrow, if that was okay, before I head back to Colorado.
You're in Childress, is that correct?
I am in Childress, and then
How are you going to get from Childress to Dumas?
I was told I was gonna get picked up by Dumas, and because all my property is in Dumas, so they were gonna pick me up and take me back and release me from Dumas.
All right. Then I can't say for sure till probation gets on, but my guess is they will meet with you before you are released when you're back in the Moore County Jail.
Okay,
But at some point, and I'm going to say before you are released, unless you hear differently from me or your attorney, you'll need to meet with a probation officer, and she will go over all of the terms and conditions of probation with you.
okay,
And also the logistics of transferring this to Colorado.
okay.
While we're waiting, do you have any questions about this order?
No, I mean, all of them really just have to do with transferring it, and so if we're gonna talk to them about that, that's the only questions I have.
All right.
Everything else was we went over it pretty well yesterday,
All
so.
right. Is there anything further from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. Seeloff, from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Wetzel, have you been satisfied with your representation by Mr. Seeloff?
Very satisfied, ma'am, thank you.
Has he done everything you asked him to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation is aware that she's in Colorado, plus she said, as soon as she's brought back to Moore County and released, then she needs to report directly to probation.
All right. So Ms. Wetzel, the official word is that as soon as you are back, you must go directly to the probation office.
That's what I had thought I would do.
All right, then I'm going to order, because we have had issues with this, that
Okay.
within 3 hours after you I'll say 3 hours. Let's do it this way. Before 5 o'clock, the day you are released from the Moore County Jail, you must report to the Moore County Probation Office.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I can do that.
okay. Anything further?
Not for
Parties?
me.
All right, thank you. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Seelock. Thank you.
Judge Morelli
Yes.
is on.
Okay, well,
Morelli is on.
let's confirm that with